So hello my friends, sorry I've been away for a while. I was traveling, I got sick, there's a whole story. But anyway, I'm back, so today we're going to look at the Talkpod A36plus. So let's start at the very beginning. You know I don't do unboxing, but we're just going to look at the box. It comes in this kind of interesting box. It says GMRS portable transceiver on it. Of course you get the usual stuff, plus this one actually even comes with a programming cable, which is interesting. Manual, quick look at the manual. It's only going to be a quick look unless you have some really magnifying eyes or some magnifying glass, because the text is so small here you really can't read pretty much anything on it. But it's there, it's still a manual. You do get the charging cradle. You get a USB-C cable. Of course you'll get the lanyard, clip, and a wall wart, USB to USB-C. That comes with it as well, which is really what you need in order to plug in your wall, your base cradle charger and charge it up. So, just to give you a little background, I actually bought a Talkpod A36 Plus a while back to do a review on it. Because everybody else was doing reviews on them, and it looked like an interesting radio with a color screen. It does airband, which is something I like to follow because I live next to an airport, so I like to do airband listening. And I got it, and I was playing with it, and then Talkpod reached out to me and asked me if I would like to do a review on the A36 Plus. And I said yes. So they sent me one. Yes, I got the green one, obviously, because I didn't have a green radio, and I thought, why not? That color looked good, and it seemed that everybody was getting that. I did not want to get the clear one. I just rather preferred to get this one. So, very basic. It is a smaller size radio compared to some of the newer radios that have been coming out that are bigger and larger and bulkier in size. This is a nice form-fitting radio. I haven't really ran the battery long enough to see if it lasts a really long time. However, like a lot of newer radios, it does have a USB-C charging connector on the battery, which is really good because you can charge it from pretty much anywhere. You can take it with you in your car and charge it from there. Very standard configuration, push to talk button, 2 customizable buttons, in fact 3, there's even a third one on top here. You can even customize this little orange button as well as these 2. Standard turn on volume knob. Antenna again is going to be a very standard female connection, so any of your balefying antennas or whatever will fit on here and it'll be fine. Although the antenna that comes with it is pretty decent actually. I can hit some repeaters within a 10-mile range actually, so it's not a bad little antenna. Now let's go over some of the pluses and the minuses on this radio. There have been a lot of reviews, and I don't have a spectrum analyzer, but there have been a lot of reviews from a lot of reviewers online that talk about spurious emission on certain bands with this radio. I do not have the ability to try that. I'm just going to go with whatever everybody else is saying, and I will work with that. The pluses on this radio is it does have a nicer color screen. You can actually see whatever you're putting in there. Now obviously I've just programmed those in there just for reference. You can pretty much program anything you want. This is actually on chirp, so you can connect with your standard K cable and program it. One of the things I don't like is that this cover here doesn't connect very well. You really have to pretty much struggle with it to get it in there. I think once you get it in, it stays. So going over the features, you can switch between A and B obviously right here using the front panel. A long press on the green button will take you to frequency, and again, very nice display, very easy to read. I haven't had any issues with this display as far as legibility is concerned. Buttons are a little bit on the smaller size, but not too hard to maneuver. It does have some nice little features. I mean, you could do a search and seek, and this is basically going to look for another frequency from another radio that's transmitting close by. So if we were to go here and just do another transmission, let me see, I'm sorry, let's try that one more time. So trying from another radio, give it a second. So search and seek, and there it is. It reads my frequency, and right now I don't have any codes attached to this. If I did have any codes, it would have come up with a code as well. So that's a nice little feature that this radio has. It seems again to be some of the newer features that a lot of the newer radios are now carrying, the ability to scan nearby radios and get frequencies on them. Now, there are some issues besides the spurious emissions on this radio that have caused some interesting commotion. One of the interesting things about this radio is that you can actually open it to all frequencies, or have it strictly as a ham radio, or have it as a GMRS radio. Now, for people that are licensed and all, if you don't want to carry 2 or 3 radios, that's a nice feature to have. I neither endorse nor condone locking or unlocking radios. Please act responsibly. Use whatever you're licensed to use. And if you're not licensed on a frequency, please avoid using it. It creates issues for everybody else, and we'd like to keep this hobby nice and going. I did take some power measurements on this radio using my Shortcom SW33plus meter, and I've come up with the following. So if you're doing UHF GMRS, it's pushing about 4.82 watts. On the other hand, if you're doing UHF and ham bands, it's 505.12 watts. In VHF, interestingly enough, if you use it on MERS band, it's doing 6.72 watts. If you have it on VHF band in ham, it's 6.31. Just a point of reference, just to keep it. So it's averaging between 5 and a little over 6 watts in VHF and just about 5 watts in UHF. Not too bad for low radio. When this radio was introduced and it came out, it was claiming 512 memories. However, everybody, and I mean everybody, that had reviewed it a couple of months ago, including myself checking it, it actually only had 256 memory positions. Somehow in whatever they were listing, Talkpod was referring to the fact that you could put 256 on the A and 256 on the B, which is not true. You could only have 256 memories programmed into the radio. You couldn't do any more than that. Now, I did get a new firmware with this radio, which I upgraded it to. So one thing that Talkpod did is, by changing the firmware, they actually now put 512 memory positions in the radio. So you can actually store 511 memory positions in the radio. There is still a drawback that I don't like, so Talkpod, if you're watching this video, please look into it, because I'm sure another firmware upgrade will repair this. Nice thing about these radios, yes, they are firmware upgradable. You can upgrade the firmware and you can change a lot of things. This one is running on 1.21. This one is running on 1.22. However, and here's the drawback that I don't like, is you can actually not get into this radio and put into your memory position 502. It will not allow you to do it. So it's kind of weird, because right now I have this GMRS is in position 1. If you go backwards, you'll see I have a memory position of 504, and probably a couple more in here. Yep, 503, 502. So there are memory positions. You can actually program up to 512 memories into it, but for some reason you cannot access it by just keying in the number of the memory that you have it in. So that's, to me, kind of like a bit of an annoyance. Yes, it is now 512 memories, but still a little bit annoying as far as that's concerned. Hopefully Talkpod will have a new fix for this, and they'll be able to help out and make this an even better radio than it is. Now, airband reception is not too bad on it. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm making a new video that's going to have a total comparison between this radio and several other radios that I have that actually have airband reception, and compare them to an actual scanner so we can see what it's really like. That's going to be up and coming. If you'd like to be notified for that, please hit the bell, subscribe, and that way you'll get notification as soon as that video is up. Should be quite soon. That's pretty much all I got for this radio. I do like it. I like the fact that it's small. It's easy to carry. You can pocket it very easily. I don't know if I'd be carrying the green one. I might be carrying the black one instead. I don't know. So again, good little radio. Not too bad. It does come with a programming cable. Can be programmed with chirp. Lots of pluses. Now does have 512 memories. Spurious emissions, well, we're going to have to look into that. Please see some other videos that some of my other fellow reviewers have put up, and make up your own mind on it. That's about it for today, folks. Thanks for watching.